I did it again. Another stupid diet. This time I ate almost only pizza for 4 weeks. I lost 3.5 kilograms and got down to 13% body fat. Here's what happened. Hi, I'm Danny from Bristol, and I create videos to help people avoid getting lost in the white noise of fitness advice. And over the last 4 weeks, I've been eating mostly pizza to prove that not only are calorie balance and protein intake the most important things for weight loss, but also that you can lose weight eating mostly carbohydrates. The idea of this came from my last burger diet, and whenever I spoke to someone about how I was eating only burgers to lose weight, they would always ask, "Are you eating the bun?" This showed me that people still had this deep ingrained idea that carbohydrates were the real enemy when it came to weight loss. So what could I possibly do to convince them otherwise? That's right, I'd eat 56 pizzas over 28 days, controlling for calories and protein to see how much weight I could lose. Great idea. Okay, so here was the plan. Just like the burger diet, I would drop my daily calorie intake from 3,000 calories a day to 2,000 calories a day. I would aim to keep my protein above 150 grams per day. Now, this was going to be way harder with pizza, so I'd add toppings like chicken and have protein shakes alongside them to hit that 150 gram target. Outside the diet, I wouldn't change that much. Training would be the same, although probably lighter due to being pretty underfueled. And I would not be shoving in any extra cardio because, well, I don't like cardio. I would, however, be aiming for 10,000 steps each day. So in week 1, my plan was to make all the pizzas from scratch. ChatGPT made me feel like this was going to be super easy, but it wasn't. So a couple of days in, I decided to try and find a shop-bought pizza that I could add toppings to. And thankfully, Aldi had 2 great high-protein pizza options. So with an extra 100 grams of pulled chicken, my meals were sorted. Having the pre-packaged pizzas made getting into the flow of this diet super easy. Although my recycling was starting to become a little bit embarrassing. Straight from the off, the pizza diet was so much better than when I did this with burgers. I think mostly because the actual food volume was just so much higher, but hunger and mental acuity were nowhere near as big an issue as they were last time. Day to day, things were okay. I definitely missed having satisfying bowel movements, but energy was okay. That being said, training became absolutely garbage at this point. I would be exhausted 2 exercises in and my joints were aching through every session. Now, this didn't happen last time. It could have been because it was harder for me to get as much protein in, but my body fat percentage is also relatively lower than when I did this last time, and that could probably be a factor. Either way, I'm aiming just to show up at this point. Do what I can, don't get hurt, and get out. At this point, I'm feeling like I've aged 20 years. Training feels bad, day-to-day energy is bad, and I spend a large portion of each day thinking about all the things I'm gonna eat when this is over. This is, however, the leanest I've been for a while, and the end is just around the corner. So, the results. Over the 4 weeks, I lost 3.55 kgs and went from 15.9% body fat to 13.3. I've dropped roughly 600 grams of muscle mass, but I think that will bounce back as soon as I start to build the calories back up again. So to answer the question, is it possible to lose weight eating mostly pizza? Absolutely. Would I recommend it? No, not in a million years. There are far easier ways to achieve weight loss, but I do think it's important that we understand the basic principles. Weight loss does ultimately come down to a negative energy balance, meaning we burn more calories than we consume. But when people try this and don't see results, they get caught by the pseudoscientist influencers and start to worry about things like carbs or any other minor nutrient that we can demonize. But if your deficit didn't work, you weren't in a deficit. We don't need to start looking for other solutions. We need to problem solve the equation we're working on in the first place. And if you need help to troubleshoot what might not be working in your own weight loss journey, check out our links below. That's it from me. I hope you found this stupid challenge educational. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to keep watching, our YouTube overlords think you'll love this next video. See you in the next one.